Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where we dive deeper into all of these sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities. I share those opportunities with everyone in the community. You get to see my portfolio. I just made some additional purchases to one of those portfolios. Go check it out on the website if you're a part of the community there. We've got a Discord channel where members interact with each other. I'm also on there, so you get to see things real time as they develop. And we do have a coupon code going on, May Day coupon code, MAYDAY. 50% off the first month if you want to try it out for the monthly membership. Just the first month is 50% off. And then you can get a larger discount on the yearly membership if anyone wants to sign up for the yearly membership. Let's dive in and take a look, guys. So we've got the DXY. It is continuing to move higher, and that momentum is still in place for further moves at this time. I don't see it reversing yet at this time. It looks strong. Now, that's generally driven by yields, the interest rates, compared to what other currencies' interest rates are doing. It's a comparison between the two. So the 2-year yield is just going sideways, still looks okay to go higher. I would say that we've broken out of this little squeezing pattern here to the upside, so that looks good to go higher. The 10-year continuing to go up, higher, 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 still looks good. And then the 30-year just slightly lower, but again, that's just a little bit of resistance right at this resistance area there, and it looks like it wants to go higher. So yields moving on up, and that could transpire into stronger dollar. Now, that can have an impact on our investments. And one of the impacts that it generally has an impact on is precious metals. And what do we see? We're seeing a break, a disconnect between interest rates and precious metals. And it might be the beginning of the end, so to speak, of people. It's the beginning of the end of that relationship breaking, where bond prices and gold bond prices go up together, yields going in the opposite direction. So that very well could be a breakage of that correlation that we had the past 40 years. TYX TNX ratio, we are pulling on down here, and it looks like it could continue lower to the downside for TYX TNX ratio. Historically, this has been a good indicator when this goes up of precious metals doing very well. But right now, precious metals are looking fantastic while this indicator has been moving lower. This is where the 10-year went down a little bit. This is basically flat. We didn't move a lot today. Bond prices are flat today. We are underneath this resistance support level. We'll see if we can get back above that support, but if it doesn't and it breaks to the downside, that means yields are going to continue higher. And the momentum is for that to occur at this exact moment until it turns around. The 2 and 10, we have a little bit of yield curve uninversion where it comes and uninverts. Inversion here, uninversion here. And generally, when the yield curve uninverts, most people look at that as unemployment goes up at the same time. If it does, that's when we have those slowdowns, recessions, crashes, those types of things occur during that market condition. Gold's up $23 an ounce. It looks fantastic. It just looks good, guys. I wouldn't do anything. Just ride it on higher. It's going to continue higher. It looks fantastic. That has broken the big cup and handle. This big cup and handle is cup and handle that we have here going across there. You can have it slightly upward there. And then your projected move would be the size of this projected up on top of the breakout there. And I'm getting a rough estimate about $3,000. So we still have a ways to go higher for that estimate to continue higher for gold. Silver ripping it up 2.7%. Like I said, this is just going to keep going higher, guys. I wouldn't, don't be worried here. Just hold on and let it make you money in your account. And this is the ultimate cup and handle, the big boy. And that cup and handle has a projection of 340, 350 bucks, 300 bucks, somewhere around that range. I know it's a big move higher. I get it. And that very well could be the case. Now, this is a long-term cup and handle. It's not short-term. Do not think that this is going to happen in 1 year. It's going to happen over the bull market. And people get that confused. You know, I call for way higher oil prices by the end of the bull market. What people don't understand is you don't go there in a straight line. You go up and you might pull back like this, and it goes up in waves. Here's the waves that this bull market was under. We had pullbacks. Oh, the bull market's done. No, it's not. So keep that in mind. Platinum's starting to potentially break out here. So here's platinum. It's starting to just turtle head out. We're up 2.4% today, almost the same as silver. When this resistance releases, guys, and we're going to have a little bit of resistance above us. There's a few. And this could be almost like a double bottom here. Once we get up there and start moving, it's going to rip. And you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh. This guy's a genius for buying it all in this cheap little area down there when no one's looking. Exactly. You don't look at the price to determine the narrative. You have to look at different things if it's a cycle. And then you look to see if things are squeezing into corners. We've got palladium also heading higher. This is going to be really good for the platinum group metal mining companies. And yes, I know which ones are the best, in my opinion. There we are heading a little bit higher there. We've got GDX up about 2%. Still looking fantastic. GDXJ is starting to break through that resistance area and break away from it. So we've got a long way to run here, boys. Long way to run. And then we've got SILJ up 2.1%. And that's still inside the pattern. And I think, in my opinion, that this is just going to be a launching pad, guys. It's going to be a launching pad that we launch out of. XAU to gold ratio, we've got more outperformance for this metric. We are up and broken out of this trend. We are coming from a very low level, and we've got a long way to run to the upside here. So this is an undervalued area. Gold and silver mining companies divided by gold looks fantastic. This is where the opportunity is. It's one of the opportunities. Crude oil is up 2%. I think crude oil is going to go higher with time. With time. Some people, they talk about Doomberg. Well, Doomberg said this. Does Doomberg know about currency exchange rates? Does he ever talk about that? It's all supply demand. A lot of this is going to be driven by the valuation of the dollar declining. And this will boom. I find it almost impossible that oil won't eventually, I'm not talking about the short term, I'm talking about the longer term, that it won't follow gold higher. There's a strong correlation. It's just delayed behind gold. Crude oil is. TTF gas is starting to break to the upside. It is looking fantastic. There we are breaking this little pattern to the upside, and we could see further upside. We've got natural gas in America right at support. And I do think that this will eventually work its way on up. Looking okay. We've got our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, moving sideways. Now, some people might ask, well, why is crude oil up 2% and XOP not? The money's going to rotate over, in my opinion. Look at the weekly candlesticks. Nice big bullish engulfing, small selling pressure back to the breakout. Your buy point is basically where we're at. Very soon in here is your buy point, or it is the buy point right now, but it could stay there for a little while. I consider this a great opportunity, and if you guys want to know what I think looks good down here, it's on the website. I'll do a midweek update coming up here tomorrow. You can see all of it. OIH down just a teeny bit. We're still getting some selling pressure here, but I wouldn't be afraid. I would be patient and wait for some of these to bottom out. And there could be some really good opportunities somewhere in that circle there. Newcastle coal futures. Looking like it's trying to break out of this resistance. We are looping back around again. And our lows are coming up. And we're creating higher and higher lows, wherever that low ends up. So that's squeezing against resistance. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we're up against resistance. And you can see that we've paused at that resistance level and not a ton of selling pressure. Yes, it could loop down. It could break out immediately. I don't know the short term. I can't tell you when that buying pressure is going to come in, but it's going to come in here and it's going to break out of this big flag pattern. This is the big flag pattern, that whole pattern there. The projected move of a flag pattern is your breakout. So it'd be basically this, and then you squeeze it up and then you project it up on top. Some people put it from the bottom here. Some people put it on the top, depending on what books you read. But I would say somewhere between 40, it'll be 40 something dollars is probably where it will go. Uranium futures pricing, looking good. Not much selling pressure here. It looks like a little flag pattern that we've got. So that looks good to go higher. We've got uranium, URA, a little bit of selling pressure. Not a big deal. Just sit and wait, guys. We're right at this kind of almost 52-week high, so just be patient. It'll come. URNM also right at support resistance. And URNJ also at support resistance here. Patience, guys, patience. That's not a big selling pressure candlestick. We're right on support. Copper been moving up, 0.58%, another flag pattern that's going to break to the upside. Looks fantastic. We've got COPX also moving higher, another flag pattern that'll break higher. Looks good. Iron ore. Iron ore looks fantastic. We've got this big Jesse Livermore accumulation cylinder. I will talk about the opportunities that we've got over here, potential buy opportunities for what is coming in iron ore. So look for the midweek update. I did position myself in one of those, and I'm still looking for opportunities here. Aluminum right underneath the resistance level, trying to break out. When that releases, the aluminum company that we are in is going to go up even more. It's already up a few 100%, or about 100%. I think it's 100 or 200% off its bottom, but yeah, this looks fantastic. It'll break. Nickel down slightly, and I still think this will go higher. We're getting a little bit of a pullback here before it turns and works its way on up. This is the double bottom, and we're getting close to the double bottom. I would be looking at potential opportunities because they're all linked in with iron ore anyway. We've got Moo just slowly pulling back, and I still think this is going to go higher. The reason I think so, big buying pressure, small selling pressure, it'll work its way on up eventually. Emerging markets, again, small selling pressure up here with these big green candlesticks. Think of it as a flag pattern or something like that. It'll work its way on up. Just be patient here. It's coming. This is your double bottom. KRE up 1.26%. It is still trying to get out of here. This could be your return move, your back test, and we'll see if we can bust out of here. We've got TAN working up a little bit. Yields were kind of flattish today, flattish. Lithium up 1.58%. That looks pretty good. We got a little kind of like downtrend break. It looks a little bit more convincing on REMX, but that looks good. We've got REMX here, nice bullish engulfing. This is your flag falling wedge pattern, ready to break higher. We've got Baltic Dry Index. That's got some momentum behind it, and hopefully it does fall. I'd like to buy some more dry bulk if it falls further. XHB falling 2.6%. Doesn't like the yields. And the yields have been cruising higher. Mortgage rates have been moving on up. Home builders could pull back here in the short term with those yields going up like they are. If we see rates pull back from the Federal Reserve, and I think the Federal Reserve may have cut rates for the presidential election, and the market saying you're wrong here. So this is going to put pressure if rates continue higher. Russell 2000 down a little bit, but still above a lot of support up here. We've got SPX just moving sideways at this time. If rates continue higher, it will impact these at some point. And then we've got the NASDAQ just right up in the corner here of a rising wedge. SMCI dropping a little bit. That does look a little bit heavy. Could drop further here for SMCI. We've got NVIDIA sideways. Still looks good, still working its way on up. Um, just a small little down candlestick, bloody nose. BTC right on support. We'll see if we can launch to the upside here, or are we going to pull on back? We could still move higher for a period of time, but I am looking at this because I think Bitcoin is just an extension of the NASDAQ. And if the NASDAQ starts to fall because of interest rates moving on up, Bitcoin could follow it. And that's what we're watching. We don't know how Bitcoin's going to necessarily react to all this. And then Ethereum is slightly lower. It still looks okay. It's not a huge selling pressure move, and it's still composed to potentially go higher, just like Bitcoin, which is doing the same thing. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website, Mayday coupon code. Don't forget that. I'm going to be releasing a midweek update of what I'm doing. I'll probably release it. I usually release it either Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning for the midweek update. I share what I am doing in that update. I share what I'm looking at, the setups, what I'm buying or looking to buy, and my favorite setups. And I usually look at things from a technical perspective in those setups, and I filter everything from a technical and fundamental perspective, a hybrid kind of approach. So that hybrid approach, I'm not just buying technicals. I'm buying producers, I'm buying some developers. I make comments about that and the risk that's associated with those investments. I view risk as an unfavorable outcome. Not total loss of capital necessarily, but an unfavorable outcome, like being diluted, means that you're in a riskier asset versus a company that is cash flow rich, buying back shares. That's a different probability and risk profile than some of the other ones. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, if you're looking to beat the markets with this commodity bull market, I mainly focus on commodities, and the sectors that I look at are uranium, precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, all of the equities associated with it, explorers, developers, and even producers. I really look at well-established developers as kind of where I'm at, and the producers. The base metals like iron ore, copper, and all those diversified miners, shipping, tankers, dry bulk, oil and oil equities, also the energy service group. And then I'll chart anything, guys. I can do crypto. I can do technology stocks. The skills apply to all of the sectors. I can do medical, biotech, doesn't matter. I'm not a big biotech guy, but I can chart whatever. So there's that, and we've got the question and answer session coming up this weekend on Saturday, 7 a.m. But that's what I've got, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.